because we have fun. Not to bash public school at all, but public schools don't have the luxury to do that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tam here with Laugh and Grow with Tam, and on my channel I help you grow with real talk and a side of laughter. All right, y'all, so let's get into this video. So I had a subscriber ask me, actually I've had a few subscribers ask me this, but just commented on this last video and asked for me to share my story as to why I no longer teach in public school or traditional school setting. And I was like, I could talk about that because I can tie that into my faith walk. So really quickly, I've had a few people ask me this question, and I've thought about sharing about it, and then I was like, it don't really go with, you know, what I'm talking about right now on my channel. But when I saw it today, I was like, no, I really could hit this at a certain angle. So really quickly, really briefly, I'll explain to you my history in education. Some of you all may or may not know this. If you follow me closely, you will know that I am an educator by trade and an actress by trade. So I got my bachelor's in theater education. So I am a certified drama teacher. I am certified to teach drama from pre-K all the way up to 12th grade. And then I got my master's in special education, certified from pre-K to 12th grade. And I'm highly qualified in all subject areas. So, I said that to say, I have, had a very interesting journey as an educator. I have not really taken the path of most educators that would with my credentials. I've always wanted to do something different. I did teach in public school for a teach. I taught in private school as well. And I was also a parapro in public school as well. So I've had a lot of different positions in the education arena. I have been an intervention teacher. I have been just a regular general ed teacher. I've been a drama teacher. That was for literally 2.5 seconds. I was pregnant with my first son. And then I've been a private school teacher as well. So I kind of lump it all as into traditional learning, public school / traditional learning. The reason I am no longer doing it, and there's multiple reasons, but I'm gonna tie it all together. The main reason was because I never wanted to teach in a public setting the way that it's required. I am so out of the box when it comes to learning. Actually, in my theater education degree, we were taught how to integrate the arts into our lessons. So I am qualified and specialized in arts integrated lessons. So what does that mean? That's basically just means that, you know, you take the arts, music, dance, all of the things, arts, and you find ways to integrate it into the lesson. So for example, if I'm teaching, one of the things I like to do is get my kids up on their feet and act out certain things. So let's say we're learning about greater than, less than. I will literally get the kids up and make them become the greater and less than symbol and become the numbers, and it's like getting what's on paper up in front of them, coming up with songs to learn certain things, getting them to act out certain characters they're learning about in the book, just things like that, helping them with storytelling and summarizing. It's just all kind of things you can do. That's just an example for those who may or may not know what that means. And I remember being in school, and when I was student teaching and when I was in the classroom thinking there's got to be more to this. I remember being miserable, feeling like I was in a box and trapped and had to do it a certain way. And even though I was out of the box in my teaching, I still felt like I wasn't giving all that I could give to my students because it had to be done the way that the school system wanted it to be done. And that's a very nice way of saying it, because I saw some things in the public school system that I just simply didn't agree with. But I don't want to bash public school. That is not what I want to do. I believe that all let me say this. I believe that public school produces some great people. I went to public school myself. I was in magnet programs pretty much my entire duration of being in school, but that magnet school was a public school. And so I'm not saying that public school is terrible, but there are definitely some things that I just simply don't agree with. I also feel like the teachers are overworked, underpaid, and I also believe that I've seen how administration just simply doesn't have the backs of the teachers, and the ones that try to are always being pulled here, there, and everywhere. I know that there are some teachers in the school system who genuinely don't care about these kids, but I also know that there are some teachers in this public school system that do care, but they're swamped. You may have a teacher with 30 kids in their classroom. How am I supposed to help every single child? How can I pay attention? Yes, Billy may come home with a scratch because it's 30 of them, and I didn't see when little Sarah came over and scratched him. And now I'm getting cussed out by a parent because I wasn't paying attention. And it's not that I'm not paying attention. It's 30 little kids in this room. You know what I'm saying? Or, just the responsibility. I feel like they're making teachers glorified babysitters now. They're not free to just teach. They got to teach to a test. They got to teach a certain way. They change curriculums in the middle of the school year. I mean, crazy stuff. I just didn't want to be a part of that. And I have watched teachers slowly but surely decline. Some of these teachers out here are depressed. They are not happy with their position. So let me get to the meat of it all. I started my organization, Centerstage Education and Consulting, back in 2017 as an after-school tutoring business specifically for children with disabilities. But I did not just work with children with disabilities. I work with all children, but I let people know, hey, if your baby has a learning disability, they can come to me. Because I saw how a lot of services were offered to children, offered to every child except for children with disabilities. And I just didn't like that. I'm like, no, they can be a part of these services as well. And so that was my heart behind it. And in 2019, I had just resigned from my position at a private school. It was a learning experience for me, but I just simply could no longer work there. Some things that I just didn't agree with was taking place, and that's the end of that. And I was hurting. I was hurt because I felt like I wasn't done correctly. And I just started this little summer enrichment program in my apartment, y'all. People believed in me that much. I started this little summer enrichment program in my apartment, and these parents were paying me to tutor their kids during the summer. And the last week I had them coming, all of them were coming to me for the week, and we were doing this program. I mean, we were doing it. And we took them on a field trip, and I never forget, I was with one of my, at the time it was a parent who was just a part, but we actually became friends. She was encouraging me because she was an entrepreneur. She was like, I really feel like you could do this full time. And I was like, nah, I'm nervous. Like, what is that going to look like? You know what I'm saying? We got to bring money in. And I'll never forget, we took all of the students to the Center for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta as a field trip. And I never forget, it was surreal seeing our name put up. They had like signs for each school, and they had our name, and I was like, this is so weird. And then they were, come on, Center Stage, come on. And I was like, I looked at her and I was like, it's so weird seeing them just call our name, like hearing it called as like a organization, a program. And then I immediately heard God say, do you need any more signs? Because I had been praying. I was like, Lord, just send me a sign. If this is what you want to do, send me a sign. And when he said that, I was like, okay, God. And I knew then I had to run with it. And so I ran with it. And in 2019, September 15th, we signed our lease to our first little office. It was a little 290 square foot office. It was me, Anna, and another lady that we admire. She is a retired speech pathologist, but she came into our program, and it was the three of us, and it was amazing. We just really blossomed, and the program expanded from there. And when the pandemic hit, the parents asked us if we would teach their children because they didn't feel comfortable with them going back to school. And from there, our little micro school blossomed, and we're about to end year 5 of the program. We're going into year 6. It's crazy. And it's been such a blessing. But I think it's so interesting that today I read the comment that said, tell me how you got to that point. What made you stop? And it's so interesting because we are in a huge transition right now. As an organization, we are in need of hiring new staff members, but our budget doesn't meet what's necessary. And so it's been frustrating because we're expanding, but we don't have the means to expand, but we're expanding. We just got accredited this year, and being accredited has been a blessing to us because it opens up so many doors for us. But in that, we have people knocking on the door ready to attend, but we don't have the staff because we don't have the funds. And so this has been a faith walk for me. And my best friend, who I said joined the team with me, she is also a director at Centerstage. And so we run this program together, and we've been running it as directors and teachers for the past 5 years. And it has been difficult, but it's been rewarding. We get the opportunity to teach children at their level. We get the opportunity to teach them how we feel is best for them in their learning style. Our children get to explore how they want to learn. Our students get to come in and feel welcomed and not be told to sit down, be quiet all day long. There's a time and a place for that, but we're not in prison. We're not in prison. And I can get on that. If you look at the history of school, like, I can get on a whole soapbox about that, but we're not in prison. And yes, you're going to have some babies who are neurodivergent. You're going to have some babies who are on the spectrum. You're going to have some babies who have a learning disability. And no, they may not be able to sit still for 40 minutes while you sit and talk about the Pythagorean theorem. Or you sit up and talk about, let me talk about something that's, you're talking, they're not going to sit and listen to you talk about nouns, verbs, and adjectives all day long. They're not going to sit and listen to you talk about conjunctions, right? They need moments. And we just don't believe in how the structure of public school. So we are very non-traditional. So much so that our kids actually really enjoy coming to school. They are usually not thrilled, like when we don't have school, like, no, we want to come, because we have fun. And it's not to, like I said, not to bash public school at all, but public schools don't have the luxury to do that. Public school teachers don't have the luxury to do what we're able to do. And so our program is changing lives. We've had babies come through our program who were truly struggling academically because they were not functioning in the way that the public school system was set up for them. And they come to our school and they thrive. They may be doing terrible grade-wise in public school and then come to us and they're thriving. Not because, it's just easier. It's because they have a space to expand and be themselves and not have to do it in a rigorous, rigid way. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and also encourage you, if you are someone who, you know what God is telling you to do, and God is telling you to step out on faith and do something, do it. It's not easy. When I say every step of the way has been a leap, a bound into faith, I'm telling you it has. It's been so much. Just starting the business was a leap of faith. And then deciding to do the micro school, leap of faith. Leap of faith. We just had to trust. And people just started donating and giving. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage you. That's how I tie this into the growth part, the laugh and grow part. I encourage you to step out on faith and trust that God's going to do what he said he's going to do. Start that business, apply for that job, whatever it is. Make that phone call, sign that contract. Do whatever it is that you know God is telling you to do that you've been scared to do because you're afraid you're not going to be able to sustain it. You got this. I promise you, you got this. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. Letting y'all peep into my world outside of content creation. But I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video.